Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it's been a month since I uploaded. Fuck it, let's get into it. I watched a new show. So I'm scrolling on Netflix looking for something to watch. I didn't want anything too crazy, I just wanted something nice to watch. And this popped up and it had that little leaving soon icon underneath. So I had a month to watch it. I started watching this bitch in February, the beginning of February. I think it's halfway through February I finished it. 4 seasons, 10 episodes each, 40 episodes. Overall, good show. I ain't gonna hold you. Overall, good show. It's rated 7.6 on IMDb. I agree. I gave it a 7.5 myself. I think there's one big elephant in the room, and it's this fucking season with this character. She is terrible. I hated her guts. I feel like the way that the show was going. All right, fuck all the bullshit. Let's just introduce the show. The show is a legal drama. It's very light. The cases and the way they solve, like, or not really, they don't solve cases, but the way they win cases, I have no problem with. I think the actors, the quality acting was great. It's not like anything. Oh my god, but they're all great actors. I think the characters is what really made the show. At the start, you get Carmen, Pindar, Franklin Bash, you get Stanton, you get Carp, you get Hannah. You get all these. You get an ensemble of cast members, and at the beginning I was like, I don't know about certain characters, I don't know about this character, I don't know about that character, but as I continued to watch, I started to dislike some characters and I started to like more characters. So Franklin and Bash from season 1 to season 4, they're amazing. I have no notes on that. Stan Infeld, no notes. Damien Carp is the biggest fuck up in the entire show. So they spent 3 seasons on him trying to be a judge. Then they get into a murder plot where he kills a judge, and then he gets still another opportunity to become a judge, and then he just chooses to come back to the firm anyway. Season 4 was a whole fuck up in itself, but I still think season 4 is one of the better seasons. I think 1 and 2 were good, 4 was good. 3 is the biggest elephant in the room. And the reason why 3 sucked is because of her. And I don't, because the way that the show was going, there was no bad guy. Carp was like the antagonist towards the situation. Like, if you ever watch Psych, have you ever heard of Lassiter, right? The way Sean and Gus work, and then Lassiter's kind of like the pain in the ass who keeps stopping them from like doing any of the shows, or doing any of their like moves and whatnot. He's always annoyed by them. But Carp kind of takes that role, but he has no power because the head of the firm, Stan Infeld, like literally is like encouraging it. He's like, dude, like, do whatever the fuck y'all want. Y'all can have parties every night. Who gives a fuck? Y'all can do whatever y'all want in court. Who gives a fuck? He gives them the green light to do whatever they want. So Carp is kind of useless in the first couple of seasons. And then season 3 comes around. She becomes that person with authority to stop them. They put her name on the window. So the firm that they work for is called Infeld Daniels. Daniels dies, so Infeld's in charge. So then they hire a new named partner, her, Rachel King. I don't even know if her name's Rachel, but King is her last name. So King becomes the third person. She gets the power. Stanton kind of season 3, he was asked to. He kind of went crazy and he was like, "Fuck it." And the way I feel about it is because the writers were like, "You guys are having too much fun. You guys are allowed to do too much. This isn't realistic. Let's get somebody that's gonna basically stop you from doing anything." First thing she does is the first thing when they first got to the office, they had this 2 offices side by side. They broke the wall and made it one big ass office with one on each side, basically. So she comes in and says, "Fuck all that. You're grown ups." Puts a wall there, and it's like, you guys gonna have to have different, like, what's it called? Different sides. You guys gonna have to act like adults. You're gonna have to get real good clients. So then they have to get every single thing approved by her. And at first I didn't mind her, but then I kind of felt like this show wasn't this was like, I felt like they did this because there was no conflict in the show and the show was just chilling. And so they added this for no fucking reason. I don't think she was a bad character. I just feel like she was added for no reason whatsoever. And that's the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem. That's why season 3 sucked. Season 1 and 2, I don't mad. So the writing of the show, I think the biggest issue with the writing in the show is the episodic terms, like the cases that they solve weekly or like every episode, it was good. No issues whatsoever. I feel like this show could have been better if they gave it more episodes, one, and if two, they had better like overarching plots. So I feel like this show was way too episodic. There's too many shits that like needed to, and also a lot of overarching plots were just ass. Like Carp wanting to be a judge, that was just. It started in season one and it crashed and burned so many times, and they kept bringing it back up. And I'm just like, yo, just retire that storyline. That shit is ass. Uh, Pindar being this homebound guy. That one was horrible to watch. Infeld Daniels and all his like Stan Infeld with all his like hijinks and whatnot. And then the first season where Peter, I think his last name is Bash. Yeah, Peter Bash, this guy on the right. I keep forgetting their names because they're basically the same dude. But Bash on the right, he he was his ex-girlfriend was a district attorney, and so he wanted to get back with her, and I just felt like that storyline was boring as well. I feel like the only good episode of that storyline was when her fiance came into town, and basically they had to like coincide with one another. And so my issue with the whole story is, so d- it didn't feel like there was anything going for the long term. You know how some shows like I've watched a lot of procedurals, a lot. And they always have something going on in the background. Something that starts in the beginning of the season and there's something at the end of the season. The only overarching plots are like major things that would happen. It would be like one or two episodes maybe. I feel like the best episodes were definitely, oh, by the way, the ending, I just watched that bitch like an hour ago. Ooh, ooh, the ending pissed me off. These guys had no balls. Obviously, they knew they were being canceled, so then they ended it like that on purpose. I'm gonna talk about the ending at the end of this fucking video because that shit pissed me off. But the way that this shit pissed me off more is there was no overarching plots. I said it like 6 times, but there needs to be some. When you're writing a procedural show, episodic can't do it. You need to have something going on in the background that continues throughout the episodes of the season, that concludes either at the end of the first season or maybe the second season. It doesn't have to be the first. You only had 10 episodes in the first season. I'm not asking you to do all that. I felt like in the second season, or was it the first? Let's scroll down here. Let's go to the episodes. Uh, where's the highest rated episodes? Dead or Alive, Good Lovin'. Let's go top rated, right? Good Loving. Oh yeah, this one was a good episode. Dead or Alive, Gone in a Flash. Season three has a lot of highly rated episodes, but the storyline was ass. Uh, season two. Yes, okay, it was the ending of season two. The ending of season two, right here, where Jared's father, Leonard Franklin, attempts to buy the firm, and then Stanton, like, he brings up this whole thing of, hey, uh, my whole time, the only reason I hired you guys because you guys are my bombs. I want you to act stupid and just go crazy, and then eh, I feel like the way they tied things in the show was good, but my issue was this came out of nowhere. This happened in like maybe episode 9 and then episode 10. That's it. This should have been brewing from the start of season 1. When they get into the fucking office on the first day of season 1, the first thing should be is Stan is in trouble. We could lose the firm. How can we deal with this? And then they move on. At the second or third episode, they mention it again, and they mention something else, like maybe a scene of Franklin talking to one of the fucking lawyers or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it should be building up to it so that at the end it feels like a payoff. I didn't feel like this bitch was a payoff. It felt like whatever to me. It felt like, oh, they got away with it, like I fucking knew they would. It didn't feel like, obviously you know they're gonna get away with it, but like I'd like the fucking thought of maybe they won't. You know what I mean? Even though I know they won't, maybe they won't. God fucking damn it. What else? The character development. There was no character development. Everybody was the fucking same from start to finish. Uh, and now let's get into the character development of every character. Peter and Franklin. Franklin and Ooh, I'm heated. Franklin and Bash, the two main characters. I have no issue with them. They were both good. I don't really think they needed a lot of character development. I do think they needed serious relationships a while back. I think Jared should have got with Swatello a while ago. He should have got with her. I think like they kind of rushed at the end of the season 4 where they kind of just got together out of nowhere, and I'm just like, you guys should have did this in season 3 because Swatello, I think she was in season 1, maybe season 2, and then she wasn't in the season, and then she was in season 4 again, and she became like an attorney at Infill Daniels, Franklin and Bash, and it's like that's cool and all, but like they should have been on and off against from the first season, and then in season 4, I don't think they should have got married. I think maybe they should have just got together for the final time where they're like, okay, we're actually taking the series as a relationship. Jared is growing up. He's no longer going to be this idiot who's just a little kid who, not a little kid, but like, you know how they are, white guy, frat guy type people. That's what Franklin and Bash are. A lot of white guy, frat guy humor in this show. And that's the biggest issue. Now let's get to the characters. Let's get back to the fucking main shit. Let's get to the characters. Okay, Peter Bash. Peter Bash, loved him as a character. He had a girlfriend every fucking season. He has a new girlfriend. Couldn't commit to any of them. There would be always a reason why something bad would happen, and I hated it so much. I hated it so much because it didn't deserve it. Like I feel like I don't know. It felt like terrible. You know what I mean? Like that he should have got with somebody. Not Janie. Not Janie. Maybe the Aussie that lived like next door to them. He should have got with her. Jared Franklin and Swatello were dead ass perfect together. I wish that would have been the main focus of the couple because I feel like they're trying to focus on Peter's relationships a lot more than they were Jared, and I feel like they should have focused more on his relationships. Damien Carp, I have no problem with his character. The biggest issue I had with Damien Carp is the fact that he felt like just a guy there to be the stick in the ass, but he had no power, and it felt like there was no use for him a lot of times. Like other than like quips with Peter and Jared, he didn't like grow camaraderie towards them. You know what I mean? He didn't get his own like character arc. He had like some episodes here and there, but like I never felt with him. You know what I mean? Stan Infeld, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. I think season 3 was definitely his weakest season, but other than that, I think he was a 10 out of 10 character. Pindar Singh, I didn't like him at first, then I grew to love him at season 2. I loved him in 2. I loved him in 3. I loved when he came back season 4, and then he never came back. And I read somewhere that it's because he started a new show and he was leaving. I'm pissed that he did that, but I still love this guy's character. I wish he stayed. Carmen. Now here's the biggest kick. I never cared for Carmen. I didn't like her or dislike her. She was kind of there. And then in season 4, this guy comes in. Oh my God. This guy comes in, Dan Mundy, Anthony Ordonez. And he was perfect. 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 I love this guy's character. And immediately after, I'm telling you, I wished he was in all 4 seasons instead of her. Because he actually brought something. I feel like Carmen didn't bring anything for me. Hannah Linden, also, first of all, she bad. She's so bad. I remember her in an episode of Psych, I think Dead Era, where she was like fucking hunting on Gus. Oh, also, I have show recommendations if you like this show. Jared, who is this? I'm gonna have to look this dude up. Who is this? Where? Where? Hold on. Where was he on here? I don't know. He was in 20 episodes. Jared. I promise you, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Hannah Linden, her character was useless. The only thing that she came in for was she used to be an ex-girlfriend, Damien. She got with Jared, but then only outside of the episode where they were doing the female military officers, I felt like her character was useless. I'm not glad that she left, but I felt like it was right that she left because her character was going nowhere. So yeah, shout out to her, Swatello. I love Swatello. as an attorney at Franklin and Bash and Enfield Daniels, whatever, but not as a DA. I disliked her as a DA, but when she joined the Franklin and Bash team, oh my God, amazing. I loved her. Anita, Anita was a good character too. I wish she could have been. This is what I fucking hate about this show. Season 4, they finally figured it out. They finally got a good cast that if they just combined season 1 and season 4 together, this shit would have been perfect. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, her name is Rachel King. I fucking hated her guts. Charlie, oh my God, Charlie bad as a bitch. I think she was in, I swear she was in like one of them shows, one of them like fucking Australian mermaid shows, right? Or am I tripping? This shit was like early 2000s type shit. Or am I lying? Or am I lying? Or am I lying? Hold on. I'm dead ass lying. Oh my God, hold on. I swear she looks like the main character off this. No, she doesn't. I lied. I lied my ass off. Okay, but I didn't really like Rachel. I fuck with Charlie. Janie I didn't like. Debbie I didn't really like. James Douglas, I don't even remember that guy. But yeah, a lot of good characters in the show, a lot of bad characters. I feel like they canceled the show right like season 4 was so amazing. And now let's talk about the ending. The ending where Stan Infield dies from choking on a fish. Supposedly, they don't really show him dying. They kind of just show him choking, and then they alluded to him dying for 2 episodes. Only 2 episodes, by the way. They could have alluded to him dying from the beginning of season 4, but they waited until the second to last episode to show that something was wrong with him. And then season 4, he tells Peter and Franklin to come to fucking Vegas. And I tell you, the first half of season 4 episode, it didn't feel like a finale. And I know why. Because they didn't know if they would or wouldn't be canceled, so they left things in the air. And so the ending of season 4, right? The ending of season 4, they say, hey, Red I go to Austin, Black we stay in LA, right? Red I go to get this job that I really want, or Black I stay in LA, right? And then they put the fucking ball in the roulette thing, and then it's spinning and spinning and spinning. And I'm like, okay, what's it gonna land on? And then I think, cause it's like you can see the timer. The timer's almost done. Something wasn't about to land on. It fades to black. Listen to me. Pussy ass ending, cop out ass ending, because you knew that the TV show would be canceled, so you left it open ending. You pissed me I was so fucking mad. That's enough yapping about this fucking bullshit. Oh my God. I feel like the dialogue was amazing in the show. I feel like the actors were were amazing at the dialogue. I feel like uh what else? That's really it. That's all I gotta say about the show. It's 7.5. It's a good show. It's something to put on, and you don't gotta be paying attention all the way. You know what I mean? You can put this on and fall asleep to it, but then you want to wake up and see how it finishes. You know what I mean? It's one of them type shows. It's a good show. There is literally nothing wrong with the show. I loved it. If I had to give it comps, I would say if you ever watched The Glades before, it's not exactly kind of the same, but I felt like it was that kind of relaxed vibe. This show was very relaxing to watch. I was never stressed once watching the show. I enjoyed myself throughout all the seasons. Season 3 had a lot of high rated episodes. There was a lot of good episodes. I just felt like her, let's go back, her, Rachel King, I feel like she was an ass character. That's it. But overall, it was a good show, man. It's a good show. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I'd say The Glades is a good comparison. Psych, my favorite show of all time. It's kind of like it because of the duo and the way they win cases and how relaxed it was. I never felt stakes in the show. That's for one. And two, I felt like this show's potential through the roof. This show's actual like rating 7.5. But like I can picture this concept of a show with season 4 and season 1 combined, and then they kind of build on that. I swear to God, this show would be like an 8.59. It'd be one of my favorite shows ever. Another comp for the show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This show is like it's a fun show. You know what I mean? You know when you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the first time, it was fun. It was fun. Like this is fun. Like I don't know how to explain it. It was just a fun show. it kind of got repetitive at sometimes. That's why it took me so long to finish it. 2 weeks is not a long time. It's not a long time, but like in terms of a 40 episode, like I used to watch 40 episodes in 2 days for anime, dead ass. So it just got a little bit repetitive here and there, but a lot of great episodes, a bunch of good characters. Would recommend. Overall 7.5 out of 10. That's all I gotta say. If you like the video, you know what to do. Like that bitch. If you have any comments, please comment down. Discuss what you want to discuss. Uh, Subscribe.